G'day, comrade subscribers. Hope you're all well. I thought this was interesting, something different. So this is a Husky Hunter from the UK, 1983 vintage. It's a ruggedised computer. Basically, it can you can drop it on the ground. You can do all sorts of things with it. As you can see, it has had a bit of a rough life. Apparently, for the press, it was shown being driven over by an army truck. So that's how kind of rugged it is. It's got a gasket seal and everything, so it is waterproof. It runs on a clone of a Z80. So while it runs on compatible with the Z80, runs CPM basically. So I'm not sure how much RAM this has got. This is the second iteration. The first iteration, I think, was called the Husky 144 because it had 144 kilobytes of RAM, which was in 1981. So very expensive machine, especially being ruggedized with that much RAM. This one can have up to 208. I don't know how much this one actually has, I guess, until we pull it apart. It doesn't work at the moment. So it runs on 4 AA cells, and also apparently has a battery back, a rechargeable battery pack in here as well. So I don't have much information about it at the moment. So this is interesting. Do not store without batteries, which is kind of a cardinal rule, that you do not store anything with batteries in it. So yeah, so it runs. It's CPM 2.2 compatible, apparently. It's got 48K of ROM, which includes basic and I think Demos. I think it's called Demos, which is the CPM-like file manager. So yeah, so it's got not many input-output options. So we've got this small little 4-pin thing there, which I'm assuming is for charging, or it could. I don't think it's for antenna. I don't think it's got radio in it, so I'm assuming it's a charging. Then we've got this DB25 for serial on the side for transferring files to and from, and then we've got this kind of. I think it's the same pitch as what you use on, say, a camera. On a camera, so that was for a wrist strap that would swivel on there, but obviously this doesn't have it. And obviously batteries go in the side there. So I have put in fresh batteries, but it hasn't powered on. So some more work might be required, which means, of course, we pull it apart. So there we go. 4 AA's go in there. Can't really, just looking, yeah, can't really see anything. Looks okay in there. So it does look pretty easy to pull apart. We've just got these Allen, I think they're Allen. Yeah, they're not Torx, I think they are Allen. We've just got those around the side to unscrew. In we go. So yeah, so UK, I think Coventry, Husky Computers. So this is a 1983 model. Oh, it does say here model 208K. So maybe it does have the full amount of RAM in it. From what I was reading, it was saying it can have up to 208K. So let's keyboard chiclet. So seems okay. Seems relatively useful, usable. Comparison. Actually, before I pull it apart, let's do some comparisons. We can compare it with a ZX81. So pretty much comparable. The review I was reading, 1985 Byte, they were saying that this is the world's first lap-held computer, so that you could, run it on your lap. It does have a built-in screen, 40 characters by, I think, 8, was it 40 by 8? So it gives you a window into the CPM 80 by 25 or 80 by 24, 40 by 8 characters, yeah, or 240 by 64 pixels. So, and what has it got? It's got text editor, communications program in the ROM. So, yeah. I'll compare it with, so we've got American cousin, the Micro Palm PC4000 and PC5000. So this is runs an 80C88. So I need to do some more work on these. So these are also very ruggedized. I don't know about running this over with an army truck, because this is like a metal alloy. But just to give you, I think this is a comparable. I think this might have been 40. I'm not sure. I have to look at the video. I can't remember. But just to give you an idea of the sizes. Yes. All right. Let's try and pull this apart and see what's on the inside.
Dystopian nightmares. Human error. Infinity. On a distant planet. Our galaxy. Android.
I've got all of them out except for one. This just will not. I've managed to unscrew it a tiny amount. It just will not open. And it's whatever, you know, so I'm having to use, it's just tempted just to drill it out. All right, maybe tomorrow I'll be able to get it out. Okay, I managed to prise it apart, but I've still got that bloody screw there. Now I can't pull it apart fully because there is a wire attached to the back of this for some reason. This looks like some sort of canvas material. So there is a bit of thickness to this. So I don't know what's under here. Very annoying. So I can't swivel this around because this wire is connected to it. Yeah, don't know. All right, I won't show you what I'm going to do. Let's just say I'll get it off somehow. So it ended up breaking just the corner there, but now I've got that off, I can use some pliers to get that screw out and replace it. But unfortunately, when that happens, so this flex, which mind you is 40 years old, I can see is now broken. Well, it is actually quite crinkly. It's yeah, pretty poor condition. So that was for whatever this is here, which is actually, that slides out. So looks like there is some corrosion in here as well, which could be why it's not working. You can see some kind of greenish copper corrosion. So whatever that was, seems to be a single pin. So that wrapped around to the side in here. So that's something I should be able to fix. Now what this wire is for, I don't know. It's underneath this kind of tape. Husky modification record. Okay. So I guess we could peel this tape up a little bit. So let's have a closer look. I think someone else has done a video on this. This is probably all redundant. So this is the flex. As you can see, it's single pin. There's 2 bits of flex which are different. Single. So I'm confused. Oh, okay. So it is single pin, but we've got some connections on this side, and then the other connections are completed on this side. Okay, so we've actually got, yeah. So we've got a full. Okay. So I might be able to rewire that, and that went through the side there. So maybe I can't rewire that. But yeah, we've got this interesting. Might be easier if I just take a photo of how this was wired. The wire's connected there, and then I just disconnect it, so we don't have this flapping around. This goes under here for some reason, unless it's just to earth this, but it's 2 wires, not 1. So I could peel this up, although, like I know, it looks like it's been cut. So this is all one sheet, and then it's just got this cut here. What is under here? Maybe I just peel this up. Come on. Maybe, okay. Let me just take a photo of this so I can disconnect it. And then I can check it out separately. So that's what it's wired up to at the moment. Now, before I dismantle it any further, I'll give you guys the usual close-up. So we've got this Husky modification record, whatever that means. And we have a number there. Then we have this 17-pin connector here, which we can see we've got some corrosion there. You know, the battery compartment's right there, so I wouldn't be surprised. Although it does, I'm guessing, does look to be sealed. So, yeah. We have some sort of bodge there. So that was where those 2 wires were connected. I've just removed. I don't think there's anything else too interesting on this side. So I'm guessing maybe that this is the ROM here. And then maybe RAM up there or whatever. CPU there. Okay. Well, we have a fuse, I guess. I guess that's a fuse. We've got some corrosion there as well. So might need me a bit of a clean. That screw kind of came out. The other ones were just kind of spinning in place, so I'm not too sure how this is connected in. Well, okay, it's all sealed in. Okay, don't worry. Look, this. Okay, it's all kind of sealed in place, I think, by the looks of it. Don't worry, it's retired. Its days of having to be ruggedised are over. There's no snow here for it. There's no harsh environment for it. It's just, if it can get it working, it's just going to be on a desk. So how is this connected? Okay, that's kind of coming out. That's some more of that flex that broke. Okay. Oh, okay. Now that's coming out. There we go. All right. So it's all okay. It's all one unit, right? Okay. There. Okay. It was attached to the serial port there, so you had to lift it off the serial port, I guess. And okay, so that flex was the keyboard. That was the keyboard connection there. Far out, man. This is going to be difficult. But you can see well how well built it is. Jeez Louise. Okay, that battery there. Very nice. Very cool. What was that connected to? Okay. Let's have a closer look. So, there's the display. Oh, okay, so that's what I was trying to unscrew there. Okay, so they are the standoffs for the display. So I've got those. So those four are the standoffs for the display. So, okay, screw those back on. Ah, silica gel. That's right, it's got silica gel in it. A packet of silica gel. Okay, and then these were standoffs as well. Right, so I was trying to unscrew the standoffs. So really there was nothing to unscrew. It's just that it was attached to the serial port, plugged into the serial port there. Oh, okay. So just, oh, okay, so it's just plugged into those. And then, yeah, that flex that broke is the keyboard. You can see we've all got lots of hot metal, basically, was it silicon? So even the screws here have got silicone over them. So that's going to be a bitch to try and fix the keyboard. That's a shame. So probably in future, if you have one of these, disconnect the keyboard if you can. But you know, like a ZX81 keyboard membrane, after 40 years, these, like this thing is just, yeah, this thing's just, okay, this is the weakest link, obviously. Yeah, it's just destroyed. Nothing much I can do about that. Got a nice made in England written on there. You can see that. Got some handwriting. Very, very, very nicely made. Very, yeah. Ow. Jeez. Okay, very sharp. Now, just, okay. So I'm just trying to figure out. So that's that connector there, which is then connected onto here. Maybe they're just reusing. Maybe they're just reusing a couple of the pins, because you don't need that many for serial, do you? Right. It'd be nice to get this machine working. So, okay, keyboard connector is there. So maybe I'm going to have to come up with a replacement keyboard connector. But yeah, you can see, maybe I should replace you've got a, you see it's got the packet of silica gel. That actually is how the machine came to ensure that there was no moisture, you know, or if moisture did get into the machine, because obviously if you get the moisture in there, then you could get fogging behind there. So I guess that's why you've got silica gel just jammed in the back there to prevent that. I probably better not just pull that out because it might rip. But interesting. I'm not sure what's the service life of this. How often you're supposed to, or is it going to come out? Maybe. I need to disconnect the display perhaps. Just about out. Maybe I ripped it a little bit, but there we go. Got it out without it. So there we go. Silica gel packet in the machine. Okay, so I'm going to have to replace that. Well, I guess I'll continue pulling it apart, figure out what's what. Vata battery there, so that's obviously well past its use by date, I would say. So that'll need replacement. Okay, so maybe the batteries have leaked that were in here. They have actually leaked through the tube here like that. So yes, even though it says do not store without batteries, do not store with batteries either for a long time. So, question is, can I jump start it? I think I might try and pull it apart a bit more first, see if I can clean it up, see where all the corrosion is, and not worry about the keyboard for now, but just see if I can power it on. What do you reckon? Let's see. So, hey, g'day. It's the next day, Friday. Drove back from Brisbane yesterday, so about 6 hours, so a bit tired. Before I go pulling it apart, I thought, haven't really had a close-up look at the keyboard, have we? So, pretty standard QWERTY, or just about. So we've got control function, looks like we've got a shift, or is it a shift lock? I'd say this is kind of like a right-handed keyboard. So I don't know if you're like me, but I'm a right thumb spacer. So having the space bar just off center there, kind of makes me think it's like a right-handed keyboard, if you know what I mean. That makes sense. That's kind of the impression I get. Whereas if you're doing you've got to reach over a bit further if you're doing a left thumb. So, but I guess we've pretty much got everything here. We've got escape, brake on the right-hand side rather than on the left-hand side, to where I'm used to it. We've got a power button there, power and help by the looks of it. That's protected like that. Nice enter key. Shift on the other side as well. Interesting spot for tab. Cursor cluster there. So yeah, so that's the keyboard. So the reason why I'm looking at it is that because the keyboard thin film connector thing is kind of, well, it's all blech. There's no way that this thing, unless I can get a replacement membrane, I'm assuming that there's no way that this machine, unfortunately, is going to be working in its case. Having said that, I'm hoping to get it working, but maybe just working outside of the case, so it's like a, I don't know, like a homebrew sort of CPM machine. And to do that, I'm going to obviously have to come up with a replacement for the keyboard. So let's see. But yeah, so have a look at that. Let's continue pulling it apart. Right. So yeah, the other thing we still need to look at is what on earth this is for. So we could probably peel this all off, maybe, because I have actually made a cut here for whatever this is. I can't. Oh, unless it's for a speaker. Maybe it's a speaker, so you get, that might make sense, like a little piezo speaker. That could be it. Yeah, all right. Keep that in mind. Now, let's get this fellow back out again. So, as I discovered yesterday, so these screws here are the standoffs. So I've got standoffs for the LCD and then for the other kind of daughter board. So you don't need to unscrew anything. You just need to kind of break the seal. And we've got the serial port connected there. So that kind of just lifts off. So I just need to squeeze that in and lift it off the serial port connector, and then kind of lift all this out So the plan today is, I guess, just to pull it all apart, show you what it looks like, try and clean it a bit, or get rid of the obvious corrosion, for example down here on the keyboard connector, which is right next to the battery compartment. Also this backup battery there. That's what that is there. Interesting. So why is that pulled out? Maybe this has been repaired before, perhaps, and this has been corroded off. Interesting. But yeah, we can see here we've got some more corrosion here where the batteries are. So at the moment it doesn't work. I put batteries in, it wouldn't power on. So let's see if we can sort that out. And as we saw yesterday, so this is the keyboard. You can see they were really serious about it being protected. And the rest of the keyboard membrane is there, so I don't have any hope of finding a replacement for that, so not to worry. It might be pretty cool to kind of have this as a computer and then make up a brand new keyboard for it. Right, so let's continue. This is interesting. This little header here wasn't connected to anything, so I don't know what that is for. Okay, we've got some more corrosion down here as well from the battery, which, as we saw yesterday, apparently we must keep in. Do not store without batteries. Well, that's the cardinal rule, is to not store them with batteries. Oh well. Okay, so we have this board here. So I don't know if this is a RAM board, perhaps. What do these say? They look like memory modules, don't they? HM6264, perhaps. So it's supposed to have 208K of RAM and 48K of ROM. So let's see if this just pulls off easily. And there's a Vada battery down there that I'm going to remove for what it's worth. So the plan for this, sorry, I know I'm not a hand model, I'll get my hand out of the way. So the plan for this, rest of this video, is just to show you it and then see if it'll power on at least. I have found some other videos showing the Husky computers, not just this one, but their other models, and some of them look pretty cool actually. So I'll link to them in the video description, so make sure you check them out. Okay, so looks like that's a ribbon, so that'll lift up over like that. Oh, there's the ROMs. Cool. Oh, we got a date, 1985. So this might have been repaired. Oh, that ribbon cable there is really solid, and it looks like there might be corrosion on it as well. So just looking at, well, this, all right, it might be okay. It's just the outer covers coming off. Okay, so that's that there. So I guess this is the RAM. Well, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 of those. I'll do some calculations. What else do we have on there? I can't really see. I'll make a note of it when I'm editing the video. Okay, so let's pull that off. Very, very cool. 2764. So it looks like they're all 8K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 48K. So 8K ROMs. And I don't know, they don't look to be soldered in. Looks like they're, because obviously we need to save space, it looks like they are kind of socketed in. So I think I might be able to remove them and dump the contents for what it's worth. Alright, I might try something else. So what else do we have down here? So looks like that's our Z80 there. And something else underneath. Do I want to pull this off? So that's NSC 800N, so that's the Z80. Oh, no, I think it's National Semiconductor, isn't it? That's the Z80. So I've got a little, just looking around. I guess to run the LCD, maybe they got some negative voltage. I'm just trying to think back when I was tooling around with Arduino stuff. Okay, let's see if we can get just undo these a little bit. So I don't want to take it apart too much. I still want to try and clean it. We'll clean the corrosion and then see if I can jump start it somehow. Ah, that would be why the on-off button, maybe the on-off button wasn't working. If this was already cracked, the on-off button wouldn't work, would it? And I'm just trying to, maybe I need to pull this off. No, I just need to unscrew these. One side. Not sure how it's connected. I don't know if it's probably a ribbon cable as well. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, there's a ribbon cable there. So it looks like it lifts off this way. Pretty good LCD screen, does graphics as well. There we go. Hey, look at all that beautiful logic. There we go, just a bit of hard plastic there. That's very cool. That is a good LCD. And then a whole bunch of, I can't really see what they are at the moment. Let me grab this. Let's have a look. HM6167. So more memory. I guess that's maybe display memory. Maybe. Oh, here we go. What's this up here? VRAM, E, write, or read, write. Interesting. Okay. This board is DVW470-1-9. We have a 470-8-3. Or 470-8-3. Is this board? I don't know. This is, I guess this would be some other manufacturer that they've just got the board for. So we zoom out a bit. Kind of like this reminds me of the Grundy New Brain. That was very compact as well. So very, I guess the Brits were good at that sort of stuff. So there we go. The Grundy New Brain folded out like this as well. Actually, I need to get back onto that to finish that off. All right. So let me figure out, I want to get that battery off and then try and figure out how to power it on. I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's some way I can externally power it when working on it, perhaps. Not sure. Okay. Okay, I removed the Varta battery, the backup battery. Whatever it was. That's what it looked like. I guess I could pull that apart a bit more. But you can see I've cleaned it up a little bit, but I'm going to have to clean it up a bit more. Let's see if I can put my loop. Don't know if this helps at all. There you can see all the blue. So I'm going to have to do a bit of cleaning up around there. Maybe replace that electrolytic as well. And generally clean it, so I'll replace that, pull that electrolytic out. And for the AA batteries, I'm thinking maybe that there might be where the connection is. So I might actually pull this off, because I won't really need it anymore if I'm going to be powering it externally. So I'll see what I can do about pulling that off. So here's that capacitor I just pulled out. Let's see if we can do the loop again. So bit of corrosion. So it's just 10 microfarads, 16 volts. So I should be able to replace that, no problems. And if we have a look, still just need to clean up around the area. If we pull the... Oh, need to use the loop again, do I? Let's use the loop. Might be easier. Yeah, so I just need to clean up around there. Hopefully nothing else needs to be replaced. And then I'll take off this battery compartment and yeah, see how we can power it on if possible. Okay, battery is off, well, battery compartment, so just a single pin holding it on. I guess the ground was the earth, or the ground side, or negative side was the case. So you can see a bit of corrosion there. And interestingly, looking at the ROMs, I was going to try and pull them out, but they've soldered in the corner pins. So the rest of the pins are fine, but they've soldered in each corner pin, which obviously makes sense. It's a rugged machine. You don't want the ROMs falling out. But yeah, they've just gone and soldered in the corners, I guess, so that if you did want to replace them, it was minimal work. So I'm not too happy with this connector. It's pretty close to where the battery was. So yeah, let's see. But I will try to power it on. So this is where the battery, one end of it came in via a fuse, I guess. And I guess underneath that is the positive rail. And then I'll just find the negative rail somewhere and apply, 6 volts? And then try and figure what the on button is. I'm still wondering what this thing does. So I've not entirely figured out where the 5 volts comes from yet, I'm assuming. So we've got 6 volts, 6 volts coming in. Then I'm assuming that this little transformer here, well, this is the little power conversion circuitry here, where we get 5 volts out, maybe. So, for example, I've been testing the 5 volt in pins on the EEPROMs, trying to find something. I've found ground. So, for example, there is ground on the keyboard connector that I can connect to directly. But I'm not sure about the power yet. But then I realised that's only half the problem. Is the other half is I need to know how to actually power it on. So to do that, I figured I'm going to have to pull the keyboard apart to figure out what the connections are for the on-off button. So I'm going to do that now. I think all these little Phillips head screws are now undone. So the great thing about this this silicone or whatever, it holds the screws in place. So I'm thinking, so now I just need to prise this off, I think. I've got them all done, including that one there. Okay, there we go. So usual calculator style what do they call it, chiclet keys. Not too worried about them getting out of order. So, yeah, there we go. Very similar to the CC40, the TI Compact Computer 40, I think, off the top of my head. Yep, alright, so let's peel this off. Alright, there we go. So what I want is the on-off button, which is actually this one here, the top right corner. So I'm going to have to I'll just get this off, put that over there. So yeah, so can I buy a replacement membrane? So I just need to get rid of all this silicone here, then I'll be able to pull the matrix out, or the membrane. So yeah, we're happy to buy a replacement. Buy a replacement, I might actually be able to get this one back together. But I'm happy just to try and make a external keyboard for it. Anyway, let's check out which this one is, and then maybe it's just a matter of joining 2 pins on the keyboard connector here to power it on. So almost got it all off. They really did seal this well, didn't they? They weren't mucking around. Alright, so anyway, you know what I'm doing. There's some silicone behind it as well, which I've got. And oh, is it stuck down? Might be stuck down actually. One extra complication, but not a problem. Yeah, I think it might be stuck down a bit. Alright, I'll get there. Right, I realised it was going to be too difficult to try and figure out the 2 lines for the, well, hopefully the on-off. So I've just hooked up the battery, I assume positive. Yeah, positive. And then ground that I found, set it on 6 volts and it's drawing 10 milliamps, so it's drawing something. And then I've got this connected to one of the connectors, so I was basically just going to go through and then just see if I can get basically to power on. So let's see. So it is, alright, that's the first one, that's ground. Oh, that was easy. Press any key. I don't know what the any key is. Hey, it's working. I just don't have a keyboard. Awesome. Alright, that was quicker than I don't know how well that's coming out. I can see it pretty clearly. Alright, let's just try that again. So it's now, oh, it's drawing 20 milliamps instead of 10. Let's just power off again. Power on. So, alright. So I've got, basically, so this is the little wire I was using. So that's connected to this leftmost labelled, I think it was labelled pin 17. Alright. So that's pin 1 on the right. Pin 16 is ground, pin 17 is what I've got this connected to. And we try it again. So ground, oh. Okay, so connecting it to ground powers it on. That was it. 16 and 17. And then press any key. Well, I don't have a keyboard, so I can just press anything, I guess. And then we get 1900 demos 2.2 9G06H, and that's actually what's printed on the EEPROMs. So have a closer look. Easier for you to see. So yeah, demos 2.2 9G06, H, that's on the, we lift this up, that's kind of what is printed on these EPROMs here. 06H, 06H, 9G, 9G, 06H. Okay. So we've basically got a CPM, so we've got BAS, so we've got basic, we've got terminal, sorry, it's been dirty work working on this. We've got comms, we've got the editor, and we've got the clock, all kind of CPM type programs. And then we've got these, if you have a look on the actual display, we've got this 1, 2, 3, so I guess they were like the hotkeys, like function keys. So directory, I don't know what that is, basic, comms, clock, term, edit, and keys. Very cool. I'm happy. So it's working. Just need to figure out what I'm going to do with it, because the keyboard's messed up. So I guess part 2 is I'm going to figure out what the keyboard matrix is. I'm thinking maybe hook this up to an Arduino and then just pulse it through and see what happens on the screen. But yep, so on off is just these two. That's ground. So this one on the right is ground, and then just touch that one to ground and it powers on. And then for power, I've got 6 volts going into there. And at the moment it's sipping power. Well, I'm happy. Been a bit of work to get here. I'll tidy this up and yeah, to be continued. Bye for now.